A couple things. We're still discussing monies, so those folks out there will recognize the fact that we have a hotel and restaurant relief fund is open, the portal's open again for opportunities to apply for the grants. I would encourage you to please do that. I think people have listened to me for 11 years here talking about sports complex. So I want to thank the delegation for getting $150,000 to move forward that sports complex, but as importantly to thank this board for turf fields. We finally got turf fields, and one of the results of that is the Maryland State Soccer is coming down this weekend and is going to be using our turf fields for a statewide tournament. So not only do people get to come down and see St. Mary's County, they get to play in our turf fields, they get to sleep in our hotels, they get to use our restaurants and things like that. So that's what this big picture has been all about, and now we're starting to see some fruits from our labors along the way. So thanks Art Shepard and everybody for helping us out to get those turf fields. April 20th. We heard from MDE about this flood insurance forum. We know that we discussed these maps that we've had, and we discussed the storm that came in last spring. I think it's important for anybody who is in critical areas or recognizes what flood insurance is all about now to take advantage of this tutorial you're going to be getting. I have infinite experience with floods in FEMA. And I know how important it is to have flood insurance, whether you have a mortgage or don't have a mortgage. If you have a mortgage, they're there for you. I mean, they're going to make you have flood insurance on those properties. If you have already paid things off, watch these flood insurance things because your homeowners association doesn't touch floods. Lastly, we've been talking about Annapolis. So let me call this Tale of Two Cities. Let's start with the Dickens perspective on this. And let's look and see what happened to the urban agenda and the rural agenda. We have discussed House Bill 670, bettering what I will refer to the neutering of the sheriff and the police department. Passed. You know, there was a lot of objection. Urbans wanted to neuter. Rurals, for the most part, were against it. It happened and went forward. There is legislation up there now to create what Governor Hogan is calling a sanctuary state. I mean, we got a lot of grief here for supporting 2A as a sanctuary county, but now with immigration and things like that, make Maryland another sanctuary state. Obviously, it'll be very controversial. But I want to thank the delegation for getting some things through. First, the decoupling of METCOM. I've said here for 3 years, and that's decoupling METCOM was a bad mistake going in. We've cleaned it up. It's going to go forward. We've taken care of our salary compensation program that we've discussed here to make the commissioner positions more competitive, more rewarding, et cetera. And I'll be gone, so it's not going to affect me whatsoever, but it would encourage, I hope, people to want to run for office. We have our bond bills approved, so we can move forward with what we want to do to build a bigger and better St. Mary's County along the way. But then I'm going to go and switch to Shakespeare and Macbeth. And if you remember, in Macbeth, things are not always as they appear. When Mr. Weisskopf comes in, he hands a big packet of documents, and these are all the bills, and these are the laws. So what I would encourage people to do is before you decide to go on Facebook and believe what you read, or go to the editorial pages of some newspapers who have a slightly different left-wing liberal agenda, such as the Tale of Two Cities I just talked about, please take time to read the bills. See what the bills say. See how these bills affect you. And then go back and see how your delegates voted on those bills. And did they vote in a manner that respects you and what the citizenry of St. Mary's County wants, or do they just go up the road and follow Tale of Two Cities because that was the political way to go? So at that, it's homework time for everybody. As we discussed before, there's a lot of devil in the details of these bills that has to be worked out and figured out along the way. And it's going to be up to us to sit there and study and just see where the monies move, what the effects are, not just for this budget bill, but budget bills going down the road so that we know that we have a clear path of what's going on and aren't enamored by all the money that just keeps flowing in right now because of all these relief bills. So with that, I want to thank everybody, and I do want to send my condolences to the Somerville family. I did attend the viewing up in Mechanicsville the other evening, and to the Somerville family, our condolences. Thank you.